Welcome back to the Scottish Football Roundup, with all the latest action from the William Hill Championship, League 1 and League 2. Coming up, Raith Rovers score 3 in the Championship, Kieran Shanks bags a double for Peterhead in League 1, and Elgin City move into the playoff places in League 2. First up, we head to McDermott Park, where St Johnstone welcomed Queen's Park.
Josh Fowler looking to right that though. It's Payton picking out Liam Smith, and chance here for McAleer, and Fowler unable to guide I think it was a shot from McAleer on target, and he's showing a wee bit of frustration there himself. Plenty of targets in the box for him, and it's glided in, and downward header, and Queen's Park go into the lead, and you must say it's deserved. Sam Stanton will slide that one into McPake. Chance here for Saints, and it's a equaliser. It's just the tonic St Johnstone needed at the start of the second half, and it's that man Josh McPake back on the score sheet, and a great bit of set-up play by Sam Stanton. McPake picks out Liam Smith. It's still in possession. To Josh McPake, who clips one in, and Josh Fowler unable to steer it. Patient play by McPake.
Great run.
Found the finish, and it's a big stop from Callum Ferry. Willen sends that one deep, and it's the head of Czech Diabate, and his hands are on his head. His headed effort sails over the bar.
Pitton and looks for the long ball to Ikpeatsu, who's holding off Dan O'Reilly and getting towards the edge of the 6-yard box, looking to roll away, tries to cut it back. It comes to Phillips, back to goal, and then it's fired in, and Ross County have an early goal again, and it's Jamie Lindsay who strikes. Back Paddy Redding with a timely tackle there after a bit of a mix-up between he and Stanway. Crawford now looking to get a left-footed cross. It's a good cross. Alex Samuel equalises. Thistle back on level terms in the 19th minute, and it's the man whose new contract with the club was announced earlier today. Started the long throw from Ingram. Hoisted in towards O'Reilly. First header is Gallagher's, come back out to Ingram. Good first touch, trying to get to the byline. Back heels it to let Sosa. First time cross from him, and that one's going to see. Well, it comes off the crossbar, comes back out to Fitzpatrick. Crawford! Did his head off the underside of the crossbar! And Thistle are ahead before 25 minutes have been played. Waiting for the options to present themselves. Gets it to Lindsay, and his pass is poor. Crawford now to Fitzpatrick on the left hand side, and Thistle with plenty of numbers forward. County trying their best to get back, but it's Fitzpatrick going towards the byline. Cut the back, shot towards goal, and it's tapped in at the back post by Ben McPherson. 2 games as a winger and 2 goals. He'd never scored a senior goal before Tuesday night, but it's 2-2 for Thistle's number 24, and they've got a third goal. It's 3-1 just before the break. Another goal.
Morton made a bright start in this meeting with Arbroath at Capello. The home side's first big chance coming to Curtis Main, with the striker pulling his shot narrowly wide of the goal. And the home side would continue to threaten early on, into the 17th minute, when Nathan Shaw slipped in Owen Moffat, with the attacker keeping cool and finding the net for 1-0. Morton were firmly in the ascendancy and would have another chance to score in the 32nd minute. A well-flighted cross finding the head of Main, who tucked home Morton's second goal. Morton were in full flow in the first half at Capello. The home side with a chance to make it 3-0 shortly after, with Main finding space in the box, but unable to find the net. Despite having been second best for much of the half, Arbroath would have a chance to pull a goal back in the 37th minute. Good work from Scott Robinson, laying one on for Finlay Marshall, who made it 2-1 with a tidy finish. There were chances for both sides in the second half, but it was Morton who went closest. An effort from Main from outside the box going narrowly past the post as it ended 2-1. Raith Rovers were hoping to bounce back after a midweek defeat to Partick Thistle. Rovers taking just 6 minutes to open the scoring, with Innes Cameron finding the net. It would take until after the break for the next goal to arrive. 60 minutes on the clock, when a well-worked Raith Rovers move would see the ball whipped into the air box, with Cameron rising highest to power home and double the advantage. Some of the football from Dougie Emery's side was excellent in this one. Rovers going from back to front in this exchange on 67 minutes. Richard Chin bursting through on goal and doing enough to scramble the ball home and make it 3-0. Chances were few and far between for Ayr United at Starks Park. This attack leading to an effort on goal from Francis Turley, with the shot bouncing harmlessly into the gloves of Josh Ray. Soon enough though, it was Rovers on the attack again. The home side attacking through Chin down the left, with the ball being worked to Scott Brown on the edge of the box. The midfielder's effort going just wide as it finished 3-0 to Raith Rovers. It was a good weekend for Partick Thistle, who moved to within 3 points of William Hill Championship leader St Johnstone. Raith Rovers are now just 4 points outside the playoffs, while Morton are in 6th, just behind Rovers on goal difference. Let's head to the Highlands, where Cally Thistle welcome Queen of the South. The BBC Alba cameras were in Inverness on Friday night. The hosts going close to an opening goal through Louis Longstaff, whose curling effort went narrowly over the bar. The home side were in control early on and creating plenty of chances. Alfie Babbage with a good run here, the striker's effort drifting just beyond the post. But it would be Queen of the South to strike first at the Caledonian Stadium. The Doonhamers on the attack in the 35th minute, with Nicky Clark providing an excellent touch and finish to open the scoring. Cally would go close to grabbing an equaliser just a few minutes later. Ross Millen's cross finding the head of Billy Mackay, with the experienced striker not far away from making it 1-1. The home side would be handed a chance to grab the leveller early in the second half. Referee Gary Hanvidge pointing to the spot for a foul in the Queen's penalty box. It was Millen to take the penalty. Ross Stewart making a brilliant initial save, with Millen able to follow up and finish for 1-1 in the 53rd minute. Having levelled things up, Cali were on the hunt for the lead. The home side would have the ball in the net through the head of Jordan Allonge, but the offside flag was raised as it finished 1 apiece in Inverness.
It was Meakin's throw. It's headed away by Brian Easton. O'Reilly. Oh, gets it back for Meakin. Cuts it in. Carroll towards the goal. It's clipped the post. And it's Gregor Buchanan who was in there and it has been smashed home. And it is Buchanan who's celebrating. Steady take the lead. Oh, power towards goal, it's 2-0. Long range effort, and right at the start of the second half, steady of a second. Bobby Heffron's just totally caught out. And it comes, and it's touched over by Jameson. That may well have been headed into the net. That one's caused bother as well. It's just off target though from Andy Monroe. Decent chance. Peggy's throw. There's the flick on and it's in! Andy Monroe scores and East Fife are back in the match. In comes the corner. Andy Monroe's there again. It's in! Fast cleaning it! 2 quick goals! An incredible comeback!
Peterhead travelled to Clackmannanshire aiming to get back to winning ways. Henry Lister with an early crack at goal, Toshuku Hugai making an excellent save. Alloa's first real chance would come to attacker Lewis Stewart. The on-loan Rangers youngster with an excellent run, but poking a shot narrowly wide of the goal. The home side's next opportunity would come in the 36th minute. Curtis Roberts with a crack at goal, with Luke Donnelly bringing the ball under his spell and firing home to open the scoring. It would take until after the break for Peterhead to respond. 56 minutes on the clock, when Craig McGuffey slipped in Kieran Shanks, with the striker producing an excellent finish to level the scores. And it wasn't long before Peterhead were on the attack again. Defender Adam Carnwath with a driving run and having a crack at goal, with keeper Ogayi getting an important hand to it. And the Blue Toon would be given a chance to double their lead on the hour mark. Seb Ross bursting into the Alloa box and being filled by Ogayi, with referee Jamie McCunney awarding a penalty kick. It was Shanks to take the spot kick. A powerful penalty, giving Ogayi no chance. Alloa would push for an equalising goal, with a cross ball from Stewart almost catching out Peterhead keeper Jack Newman as it hit the crossbar, with Alloa unable to turn home on the follow-up. 2-1 Peterhead, the final score at the Rex. Kelty Hearts travelled to Broadwood, aiming for their first win since late December. The away side hitting the front on the 34-minute mark. An excellent cross from the left, finding Aaron Pettifer, who fired home to open the scoring. Accies would have a chance to level things up before the break. An excellent cross from the left, finding the head of Ollie Shaw, with the striker's effort going just beyond the post. But the Accies attacker would have another chance just moments later. Loose play from the Kelty defence, gifting Shaw a chance in first half stoppage time, with the striker levelling the scores. into the second half, and Kelty Hearts would push to retake the lead early on. 48 minutes gone, when former Accies man Ross Cunningham stepped forward and smashed home an excellent strike for 2-1. Accies would go close to an equaliser from a corner kick, with Kyle Gourley making an excellent save to keep it at 2-1, with Kelty able to repel the danger as the away side claimed all 3 points. Draws for Cally Thistle and Stenhousemuir means it's as you were at the top of William Hill League 1. Peterhead have moved to within 3 points of the playoff places, while Kelty Hearts are now just 3 points behind 9th place Hamilton Accies. Into League 2 now, with Spartans taking on East Kilbride at Ainsley Park.
Looked like a foul throw, but Lewis Spence will take it away. Bobby McLucky's got space here and gets a strike away, and Paddy Martin is equally down to it. James Kagan to deliver once again for Spartans. Davidson is in the area. Delivered by Cragen into such a dangerous area. It's dropped. Where will this end up? Oh, he's missed it. A few options now for Spartans. His first touch of the game for Cammy Russell to have a goal. And a first shot on target for Russell. It comes out to Mark Stowe and his effort sails over the bar. But it's promising from Spartans in the opening minute of the second half. 55 minutes on the clock. Spartans now, East Kilbride now. In by Cragen towards the front post. Jordan Tapping! Back from injury and back with an important goal! Jordan Tapping gives Spartans a lead! John Robertson. So fall to Paddy Martin. And the referee gives a penalty. It's Robertson against Martin. Martin goes the right way, but Robertson slots it into the corner. There's large confusion here at the Van Lock Community Stadium. Kieran Watson has been sent off.
Out to McGinley, who's taken out. Surely a foul there. No advantage though, as Dingwall comes out, gives it to Girvan. First big chance of the game for Elgin, and Hester, and it's 1-0 to Elgin. It was a loose pass in midfield, and you can't allow Kane Hester that amount of space in the box. Fleming now finds Redfern well. What can Marley do? Oh, beautiful from Marley through the legs. How's his delivery? It's good. Connell! Josh Walker comes forward to Hester, who takes a touch in. Hester goes down. Oh, that's embarrassing. Just threw himself to the ground when he was clean through on goal. And now Redfern's clean through on goal. Big chance for Clyde. Redfern. Connell's in the middle. Connell! Fluffs his lines and has to go back to Morgan Neal. Clyde organising well. That's a lovely ball round the corner. It's somehow found Kane Hester, who cuts inside. Fleming gets a touch, but it's Russell Dingwall. Big save by Jay Hogarth. Hickey Fagacha falls over. Redfern goes past him on the ground. Plays it into McGinley. How's his delivery? McGinley, back to Connell. Back to Cudahy. Back to Hines. Shoot! Oh, just wide. Where the box is packed, can we get a good delivery to lead to a goal? Robson in. That's well defended by Elgin once more, and they can come away here. Lovely touch from Hester, and Elgin are away here. It's Kyle Girvan all alone against Hogarth, and it's 2-0 to Elgin. It'll be an important goal here to score late on. Tommy Robson, an absolute thunder strike of a shot there from Tommy Robson. Required Tom Ritchie at his best to parry over.
And Athletic would go close to taking the lead early on from a corner kick. Keith Watson with a header, which drifted just beyond the post. One of Stranraer's first chances of the game would come through good work from Dom Plank. The midfielder straight from outside the box, well beaten away by Charlie Albinson. Both sides would have their chances in the first half, but it would take until 38 minutes for the opening goal to arrive. Aidan Smith's strike from outside the box, picking out the bottom corner. Stranraer would go close to an equaliser from a free kick after the break. The ball bouncing in the Annan box, with Salou Touré seeing an overhead kick hit the bar, with the home side able to clear the danger. The Blues continued to pile on the pressure in search of an equalising goal. Joseph McGrath seeing an effort deflect wide of the goal as it remained 1-0. Stranraer continued to hunt for an equalising goal late in the day. A cross ball to the back post finding a Blues head, with the effort going wide of the goal as it finished 1-0 to the Galabankies. Forfar Athletic would have an early chance to take the lead at the Rock. Referee Gavin Duncan awarding the Loons a penalty for a handball in the Dumbarton penalty area. It was Jake Sutherland to take for Forfar. No mistake from the striker, making it 1-0 in the 9th minute. Forfar remained on the front foot in the early going and pushed in search of a second goal. The Loons going on the attack again in the 21st minute, with Callum Wilson bustling into the Suns' box and doubling the advantage. The away team continued to have the better of the play in the first period. The next opening coming from midfielder Blair Alston, who was well closed down by goalkeeper Aidan Rice. Dumbarton would begin to threaten after the break. An early second half opportunity coming the way of Scott Honeyman, whose shot drifted wide of the goal. After coming under pressure, Forfar were soon back on the front foot and hunting down the third goal. The away side pushing forward, with Sutherland's driving run creating a chance for Scott Shepherd, with the attacker hitting the post, with the offside flag raised in the end. Dumbarton would haul themselves back into the game on 71 minutes. A long ball sending Leighton McIntosh through on goal, with the striker doing just enough to slot home for 2-1. And the Suns would pile on the pressure in search of an equaliser just 8 minutes later. The home side committing bodies forward and eventually getting a shot away, with attacker Honeyman on hand to guide the ball home and level the scores at 2-2. Dumbarton coming from behind to grab a point on home turf. Inverness City travelled to Fourth Bank, aiming to pick up their first away win since late January. Malik Zaid with the game's first effort at goal, the shot well saved by Robert Duffy. It would take until the second half for the home side to threaten an attack. A cross from the left bringing the head of Ryan Shanley, whose effort went well over the crossbar. The home side would continue to create openings throughout the second period. A looping ball almost catching out Mark Weir, with Shanley unable to turn home on the follow-up. But Stirling kept pushing and would eventually get their reward. 83 minutes on the clock when Shanley's strike was saved by City keeper Weir, with Corey Thompson closing in to score on the rebound. The Beanos taking all 3 points with a narrow victory. Things remain tight at the top of William Hill League 2 following Spartans' draw with East Kilbride. Elgin City are in the playoff places following a home win over Clyde, while Edinburgh City are now 10 points adrift of 9th place Dumbarton. That's all for this week. Join us again next time for the Scottish Football Roundup.